The ELEVATE Consortium was created through a $4 million grant that we received almost 4 years ago. In the end of June will be our 4 years. So with this grant, we were able to connect with 3 colleges, so Central Community College, Northeast Community College, and also Southeast Community College. Northeast and Central were already a registered apprenticeship with for like about a year. They were already a registered apprenticeship before they applied for the grant. And Southeast was a new partner that was not a registered apprenticeship program. So when we created this grant, we were trying to think of how we can help other community colleges within the state of Nebraska to be able to become successfully registered and up and running. And our whole purpose is to get all 6 community colleges together so we could help one another. So we have now partnered with Exarban. Our ABA grant will be done by the end of June, so July 1st. And so we knew that we were needing an outside partnership to be able to connect all 6 community colleges, because this isn't really common for all 6 community colleges to work together. And in order for the 6 community colleges to work together, we thought an outside source that wasn't a community college, being the holder of the ELEVATE Consortium, would be best. So Exarban became our partner, and after our July 1st, Exarban will take the lead of being the ELEVATE Consortium, with all 6 community colleges being a part of it. Yeah, apprenticeship is an earn and learn program. It is basic. It's very flexible. I think some people make it more complicated than it needs to be. I think other people see it as what apprenticeships used to be. And so now it has changed tremendously. Apprenticeships is for all occupations, not just skilled and technical. So admin assistant, bookkeeper, IT, hospitality, a lot of different other occupations. So Central, I'll speak for Central. Central has 37 programs. We can do 36. And so what it is you're taking, you're doing on-the-job training, and then you're taking a certificate, diploma, and or associate's degree with a community college. Sometimes you can do a work-based learning depending on the college that you're working with. And so that can also be added into your training with your apprenticeship program. An apprenticeship program is a robust training program. So you have tasks that your apprentices would complete while they're in the program. A program can go from 1 to 4 years depending on the occupation. So if you're electrical, it's going to be 4 years. An admin assistant could be a 1-year program. Depending on the college that you go to. And I do talk about colleges because that's what we've set up for. So we all are sponsors. So we go out and we look for companies to partner with us so they don't have to do it on their own. So we do support the company. We help them implement, we help them register, we help them recruit, and we help them get up and running. And is all we do is ask from the companies is communication. That's a huge one. Implementation, registration, hire the apprentice, and continue it on over and over because you're building your own pipeline. Companies can become their own registered apprenticeship program outside of the colleges by going to the Department of Labor and become their own registered apprenticeship program. I don't know if they have any support after the companies become a registered apprenticeship program. I can only speak upon the community colleges where we support the company and we support the apprentice throughout the whole entire apprenticeship program. And we're looking to be partners for a very long time. I say life, but you know how that goes. So if you were to come alongside of a college, and to remind you, all colleges do it just a little bit differently. So I'm going to mainly speak for Central, but you can contact the college of in your area and find out more. But so what we do is that, like I said, we go out and we look for partnerships, and we do all the back end work. So we get all the standards. We work like you would get a work processing schedule, which means that all the tasks are going to be on the work processing schedule that your apprentice is going to do. So we look for that. We get it going. Implementation and registration is probably the longest part that it takes for a company, but when I say long, I mean it could take 1 week to get your apprenticeship up and running, depending on how long it takes the company that they want to get this up and going ASAP, or they're like, hey, we'll get back to you because you got us in a busy time. So, but from 1 week to 3 months, we can get a registered apprenticeship up and running. It just really depends on how the business is. So we support the business, the implementation, the registration, and it doesn't cost the employer anything from our point, because we're being paid to go out and partner with apprenticeship programs with companies. So then after we implement and after we register, and now we want to start looking for apprentices. There's 3 different ways that we look for apprentices. One, existing employees. You always want to offer a program within your company to your existing employee. Maybe someone's been there for 25 years and they're tired of doing the job that they're wanting to do, but they want to stay with the company, but there is no growth for whatever reason. This would be a perfect growth for them. Or if you have someone that isn't, you're not willing to let them go because they're really good at showing up and their soft skills are really good, but they're just not catching on, this would be a great opportunity to put them like, hey, we have this apprenticeship program. We would love for you to be a part of it. So that's one way. Another way is new career seekers. So we go out into the field and we look for new career seekers that want to be a part of the apprenticeship program and the company that we're working for. So we do have an interest form that we have all our potential apprentices to come in and fill out that apprenticeship form. Mm-hmm. And then we look over it, and then we meet them, and we kind of try to play matchmaker. Like we learn about the company, we go and, we're spending that time implementation, registration, we do a tour, we find out what you guys do. We know the bare minimum just so we can go out and talk about the program and how amazing that company is. And then when we get someone in here, we're like, you would be great for this company. And like, you just talked about all of this, you'd be great for this company. So we do kind of play matchmaker when we do have, career seekers coming in and they're not exactly sure, or they are sure, they just don't know what company that they're wanting to work for. We actually have some potential apprentices come in and go, I want to work for this place. Can you get me into the apprenticeship program? So that's really nice. Another way that we do it is we go in front of our classroom and we talk to our students that are already in that occupation. And we let them know that there's companies out there that are looking for apprentices that are in your field. So we go and we do our spiel and we let them know all the companies that are in that occupation that are hiring apprentices, and let them know if they want to know more information about those companies and what they have to offer their apprentices, then contact us. So the one thing that we do ask for is when we bring over students, and this is only students that are already attending CCC, that they stay in their educational pathway, and that is to get an associate's degree, because our instructors do go out and they do recruit students to be in their seats so they can have a job and so they can have completion, because we are funded through completion of associate's degree, completion of a diploma, and a completion of a certificate. But if the company brings over an existing employee or a new employee, that company and that potential apprentice can choose to go and get their certificate, their diploma and or their associate's degree. It's whatever the company would like for them to do. So not only do we onboard the company so that they have very little to do, they still have some things to do. They just don't have the amount that they would do if they were on their own. And so we do the same thing with the apprentice. We onboard the apprentice for the company. So we have the apprentice come in and we make sure that they know what an apprenticeship is. They know the benefits that company that they're going to go and work for is providing them, and they know about their work processing schedule. We have them sign documentations on saying, yes, I'm a part of an apprenticeship program with this company for this amount of time. We do have apprentice scope. All documentations that come from the company and that come from the apprentice are located in the apprentice scope. So it's one place that everyone can go into and look and see what they want. And like, hey, I remember signing that document, but I can't remember where it's at. That's where all the apprentices' documentations are going to be. And also, there is a success coach that comes with every single apprentice. And it is the lifetime of the apprentices until they finish and complete their registered apprenticeship program and get that certificate. So we help them if they are doing really great and then all of a sudden they're not showing up to work on time or something happens. We really want to know like right away, because we can call Jimmy and say, Jimmy, hey, I just got this report from Lynette and she says you're doing amazing when you show up. And so what's going on, what's happening? And then they'll usually tell us because we have that rapport with them. I always tell them that I'm a great coach. I'm just not great at living your life. So it's your choice on how you live your life. But I'm here to help you be coachable so you can have a successful life. So then they usually share with us, and then it's like, have you spoken to Lynette about it? No, how about you talk to Lynette? And sometimes people don't know how to talk to managers because, or HR or supervisors or whatever, because they're scared because they're more of a higher authority. So we teach them to advocate for themselves. However the company wants to go about it. So what we do, what we have found out, so when I first started, I thought that every company should pay for the apprentices' schooling. And then the company was like, I'm not too sure about that. Then we would have to have like a 2-year, like depending on how much they pay. If they pay them a full associate's degree, that's about $8,000. So the company is then we need that person to stay for 2 years, or excuse me, maybe even 3. So then we found out that the potential apprentices, they don't want that commitment. They can get their schooling paid for through FAFSA and through scholarships. So we've learned that we ask the companies not to throw that out the door, because there are going to be some, maybe 2% or maybe even a 5% chance that there is going to be someone that doesn't qualify for FAFSA and or that can't get a scholarship. So we always say leave that open for an individual that needs that. But what we've asked our companies to do, will you pay them while they're in school? Will you give them a completion bonus? So they finish their certificate and 2 years with you. Would you pay them $1,500 because they're paying for their schooling and then you're kind of reimbursing them back, and or it's just a bonus, and then they want to stay with the company because they know after they finish their certificate, they have 1 more year to stay with the company to get that $1,500. And I just threw out a number so you guys can have whatever number you want. I just threw out a number. So if people are like $1,500, that's too much. It's just a number. You can decide on your own. We have a lot of companies that pay for them while they're in school and do a completion bonus. And we have found out that those two combined, the apprentices come back and they feel valued. They feel like they have, the company really cares about them. And one more thing is always start in cohorts. If you have two people starting together, two or more, they're more likely to stay together because they're in a program together, they're going through this with someone together, and they don't want to, like, if you and I started a program and we became, like work buddies, I don't want to leave Lynette. And Lynette, if we have to take a business class together, I'm not good at business, but you are, maybe you can help me. Because we've learned that if we do, I know that there's smaller companies out there that don't need more than just one, and that's fine. I'm talking about those bigger companies that can take on two or more. I always say start in cohort. That was my fifth one, bringing a mentor in. I was like, what is that fifth one? Is a mentor. So like I said, we ask for the company to help us implement, register, hire, communication, and supply a mentor. The mentor is the decision of the company, and it's a seasoned worker. So it's someone that knows the job or career, and knows it in and out, and that is willing to mentor an apprentice. So with that being said, we do, within our process of implementation, we do have the company sit down and write out, what does my apprenticeship team, who is part of my apprenticeship team? So you need an HR, you need a supervisor, and you need a mentor. Your mentor can be your supervisor, but you need someone, and we're not asking you to micromanage them. We're not asking you to be with them like 24 hours. We're just asking, look at the tasks on the work processing schedule and say, okay, Johnny's going to be doing number 1, 5, 7, and 10 for the next 3 months. And then that's what Johnny's going to be working on, plus other things. So it's not just they're working on only those tasks on the work processing schedule. They're working on those tasks plus whatever it is. And so whoever the mentor is the one then that can go and say, all right, Johnny he's been taught how to do this. He has demonstrated that he can do this on his own. So now I want to see Johnny do this without anyone helping him. And so then that means he's proficient in that task. And then the mentor can say, I can mark that off because I believe Johnny can do this by himself with nobody here. And then they can move, and then they go into Apprentice Scope, check that off, and then move on to the next task. If you want to reach out to your college that you're whatever's in your region, we do have a list of where you can just reach out to your apprenticeship director in your community. They'll be able to tell you the same thing because they're doing the same process. They might do it a little bit different, but not very much different. Exarban is what we're trying to set that up. So someone can go to Exarban, and also we're trying to help, we're trying to get that set up with the Department of Labor as well. Like if someone comes to you and says, hey, who would be my contact at the college to get into apprenticeships? Department of Labor knows and Exarban knows. I'm not only a director, I actually believe in apprenticeships, and I do apprenticeships here in my office because that's how much I believe it. I've also, my college also believes in apprenticeships, so we do have apprenticeships throughout our college. It really does help the apprentice and the company retain and sustain employment longer, and have less turnover. And it is a wonderful program, and it really doesn't cost except for the let me pay you while you're in school and the completion bonus, but that's only for a short period of time. I love apprenticeships, and I could talk about them all day long.